New video into Fox News now. President Biden arriving in Saudi Arabia, meeting with the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, and watch the fist bump greeting. Can we run it again? Now remember just who this is. The world watching the moment, having some disbelief now, after President Biden said this about the 2018 murder of an American columnist, Jamal Khashoggi, during a presidential debate.
Khashoggi was, in fact, murdered and dismembered, and I believe in the order of the Crown Prince. And I would make it very clear, we were not going to, in fact, sell more weapons to them. We were going to, in fact, make them pay the price and make them, in fact, the pariah that they are. There's very little social redeeming value in the present government in Saudi Arabia. They have to be held accountable.
All right, let's watch it again, real quickly if we can, so that we can see what the world saw. And look, he did this when he was visiting with the Prime Minister in Israel too, and then they shook hands. But their relationship decidedly is very different than this one. Your thoughts, Laura?
Well, a fist bump is something you do with like a bro,
yeah,
right, Jimmy? It's a really, you know, it conveys the idea that you're very friendly. It's a jovial thing. Obviously, this is a very serious situation on a lot of fronts, and it's just so hypocritical, obviously, to see Joe Biden there fist bumping this guy who he claimed, you know, this was this Saudi Arabia pariah, that he was going to hold him accountable. In fact, well, in fact, you're not. In fact, this is so embarrassing, I feel like, for America on a lot of different fronts.
Jimmy, what does the world see? And by the way, watch out for the diamond.
Good to see you. Listen, as a silver lining guy, I do want to say it's nice to see him shaking hands with someone who's actually there. You know, we have seen these videos this week where we get the invisible man, but what they see is weakness. Think of the clip we just showed. They're a pariah. They're going to pay. Fist bump. I mean, that's the follow-up to that. And that's why I'm telling you, the best job to have, the best job, is selling liquor to the White House press team. Because you know how hard they're drinking right now? They didn't want this. This guy was coached, okay? This guy was coached to go into this and be very careful about the optics of meeting MBS because it's so controversial to meet him to begin with.
So let's talk about optics for a moment. And Dagan was giving us kind of the play-by-play on, well, you lower the expectations of what the oil talk could look like, and I get that. But that's literally less than an hour ago. Right? That's on the heels of this happening. The total relationship that Biden said he was going to have is changing. Do we need Saudi that much? They're an important ally.
Well, they're certainly an important ally, but this is a very tricky situation. I mean, when you have President Biden going to Saudi Arabia, by the way, don't forget, he had to go home for a few days to rest because he couldn't be abroad after his European trip because it would be too much traveling for him. So now he's restful, and here he is. But you also had former President Trump just in Alaska in the last couple of weeks talking to the oil drillers and talking about how we can increase production in the United States. And so, again, as I mentioned in the first block, you know, the White House is a little out of touch with what Americans need and want right now. But I will say, back to the fist bump, just not to harp on this, but we saw him fist bump right there. But what we saw also when he came off of Air Force One on the beautifully laid out purple carpet, he actually shook hands with people there. But for this one, he fist bumped. So if we could just stay consistent in our messaging, then I think it would have a stronger presence as he's going into these very important and serious talks. And again, when you call someone, say we're going to make these people a pariah, and this is now how you act, he needs to address why this is happening, and not in that op-ed, which was obviously not written by him.
I just want to add something really quick, and I know we got to get Dagan in here, okay? When it specifically pertains to the fist bump, in the Democratic Party, one of the most noteworthy headlines of the Obama presidency, I'm going to speak English and try something new, was at the convention when he fist bumped Michelle. And they were like, look at the warmth, look at the level of affection that a fist bump connotates. And now we're fist bumping pariah guy on the world stage.
Wasn't it for COVID? Wasn't that the whole point of it?
But well, first of all,
you're right. His people said they didn't want him touching anybody.
Yeah. You're still touching. Dr. Sapphire, help us out here. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, by the way, you shouldn't be sticking your fingers in your mouth after you're shaking anybody's hands. But we're not shaking hands anymore because of COVID. As we know, the fomite transmission is not the main way of transmission. But again, he's shaking some people's hands and fist bumping others. So to maintain messaging would make for a stronger leadership.
And what is the messaging, Dagan McDowell? Because I'm confused now. Does the fist bump get oil?
Not right now, it doesn't. Saudi Arabia, and I apologize for going into the weeds, but I'm a nerd, and this is what I do.
We love that.
This is what I do. I can talk about oil production capacity and how much countries are pumping all day long. Saudi Arabia has already decided its production levels for this month in August. They have a meeting with OPEC. So which OPEC plus Russia's part of it, they're going to get together and decide how much they're going to continue to pump their quota. So this meeting was moved up to this time because the White House was trying to avoid a bigger trip where Sleepy Joe Biden was not going to do well cognitively or energetically if he did a longer trip. The point is that if this administration cared about climate change, global warming, it doesn't matter where a barrel of oil is produced. A barrel here actually is produced more energy efficiently and more gentle on the climate than overseas. I know why you don't shake hands, because if your hands are clammy and you're nervous, you don't want the other person to know that you're shaking it in your shoes.
Yep.
Well, there is a lot there.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.